Are you a frugal person who makes smart decisions in financial situations? Or are you the type to say, deserve ko to every time your allowance arrives? Let's find out. Watch these situations carefully and guess what the person is most likely to do. Mika is a college student whose daily diet consists of instant cup noodles or pancit canton because her allowance is very small. One day, she had an increase in her allowance after getting a big bonus at her part-time job. What would Mika most likely do after her income increases?
A. Continue eating instant noodles every day to save money. B. Immediately go to Ukay Ukay, eat Jollibee, and travel to Siargao right away. C. Give all the money to her friends because she suddenly became generous. D. Pretend she is still poor for character development. Lock in your answer because we will reveal them at the end of the video.
Arnel buys Ella's coffees every morning before class because he needs a refresher to stay awake during lectures. One day, the coffee shop suddenly raises the price to something that would make his wallet cry. What would Arnel most likely do?
A. Continue buying the expensive coffee because he is allergic to change. B. Switch to Tasticles because support local. C. Spend the money on Shopee instead of buying any coffee. Or D. Stop drinking any coffee and just sleep in class.
Do you still remember the answers you
The answer to question number 1 is Miss Kalaunan.
Ay, sorry, miss. May I ask what made you so preoccupied with your phone? Oh, it's nothing, miss. We just saw a TikTok video about financial decision.
Like what a person would most likely to do in those situations. But we're not a psychology students, miss. So I doubt we'll get it right.
Well, you're in luck since we'll be continuing our lesson about elasticity, in which you'll notice there's a bit of psychology in economics based on empirical evidences. I forgot what it meant. Is it type of rubber or something? That's a good way to think about it. I mean, in economics, it basically means when something stretches or changes. Let's have a quick recap, students. What does elasticity mean again?
If I remember it correctly, I think it's about the change in price or quantity that's demanded or supplied.
Specifically, how much lower or higher exchange is.
Alright, I remember it now. It's a measure of responsiveness of one variable to changes in another variable.
Well done, class! Today, we'll be learning about two important ideas. Cross-price elasticity of demand, denoted as XED, and income elasticity of demand, denoted as YED.
Now, let's imagine two drinks in the cafeteria, milk tea and iced coffee. They usually share the same price. If milk tea were to be more expensive, what might students buy instead?
Coffee! Precisely. That means that these two drinks are substitutes.
Cross-price elasticity measures what happens to the demand for one product when the price of another product changes. It's basically the relationship between goods. As written here, the following is the formula.
As you can see, X represents the cross relationship of the goods.
Wait, that formula looks like the same in PED.
Great observation. The math is the same, but what changes is different. For cross-price elasticity, quantity changes from the demand for good A, while the price changes from the price for good B. For example, let's say coffee price went from 80 pesos to 100 pesos. That would cause the tea demand to go from 200 cups to 260 cups. Let's start with substituting our quantity and price values to its respective variables, and from then on, just let the math happen. As you can see, our XED value is approximately 1.170.
Is that good or bad?
It means that these two goods are substitutes because the number is positive. The price of the coffee increases and the quantity of the tea increases.
And if it's negative,
If the cross-price elasticity demand is negative, then that means the goods are complements. Complementary goods are products that are used together. For example, cars and gasoline. If cars were to get even more expensive, fewer people would buy them. And if fewer people would own cars, then people will also need less gasoline. The price of the car increases and the quantity of gasoline decreases. The changes move in opposite directions, and mathematically, a negative and a positive would result in a negative. So in short, a positive value and XED would result to substitute goods, while negative values will be complement goods.
Now, imagine your allowance increases. What would you do?
I would buy the latest iPhone.
I would buy more snacks.
I would buy milk tea every day.
Exactly. Income elasticity measures how demand changes when people's income changes.
What does I mean?
Income, but some people use Y. That's why it's denoted as YED or IED. But let's use YED. Now let's proceed. Let's say, for example, you have an income of 20,000 pesos and it increased to 25,000 pesos. Therefore, the restaurant that you go to, its quantity would increase from 10 to 14. Just like earlier, let's just substitute our values to its respective variables. And as you can see, the approximate value of our YED is 1.5. Since it's greater than 1, this makes the product a luxury good because people buy it when their income increases. But we also have normal goods and inferior goods. Normal goods are when the income elasticity of demand is equal to 0 or 1. These goods are usually necessities. There is an increase in demand but not as much as there is in income. Like water. You can buy more water but not really. You buy anytime you need it. It's not the same from eating more in a restaurant. Meanwhile, an inferior good is a product that people less of when their income increases. For example, your income increases, so you would abandon some goods for better ones, like cheap instant noodles, for example. The value income elasticity of demand here must be less than 1. To reiterate, a luxury good is when the value of YED is greater than 1, which represents the increase of money spent, such as going for a travel.
So elasticity is just measuring how people react when something changes.
Yes, economics is just really about understanding how people respond to changes.
Miss, economics is actually starting to make sense.
That's the goal.
That lecture drains me. I need a coffee.
Yeah, same here. Coffee is basically a survival fuel for us students. Order first.
Wait, wasn't this coffee like 99 pesos before?
Wait. Oh my god, it changed to 120.
What? 120? That's a big jump. I think I'll just get the tea.
Oh, there's a tea?
It's still 99 pesos.
It makes sense. Tea is cheaper anyway. Wait, hold on.
What?
Didn't we discuss something like this in our economics class?
Oh, wait, you're right. I think this is about the cross-price elasticity.
Yeah, when the price of the product increases, people have a tendency to switch to a cheaper product.
So because the price of the coffee increased, I will choose the tea instead.
Yeah, exactly. That means the coffee and the tea are both substitute goods.
Wow, I just can't believe that we applied our economics lesson earlier.
Yeah.
This situation demonstrates the concept of cross-price elasticity of demand, which measures how the demand for one good changes when the price of another good changes. When the price of coffee increased, Krisha decided to buy tea instead, increasing the demand for tea. This means the cross-price elasticity is positive, indicating that coffee and tea are substitute goods.
Oh, sorry. Enough ng Kanta. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, my mom just added $500 to my account. I have to go and buy waffle cake. I deserve good.
Alright. Okay, let me go. Okay. That's weird. I feel like this was in our economics class.
This situation illustrates the concept of income elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand measures how the demand for a good changes when a consumer's income changes. When Navi received additional income, their demand shifted from cheaper instant noodles to a higher quality good. This shows how consumer choices change when income increases. Do you still remember the answers you locked in earlier? Because now, we're about to see some unfinished business. For situation number 1, the correct answer is letter B. Mika would most likely choose to splurge on better quality food instead of continuing to rely on instant noodles. For situation number 2, the correct answer is also letter B. Arnel would most likely switch to a cheaper alternative like tea after his usual coffee suddenly became more expensive. Quick disclaimer, the situations and answers are grounded in ceteris paribus.